guess for both of y'all, you kind of, you guys got an 11-point or 12-point lead there early, and they cut it to 5, in the first half. I guess what kind of started to click for you guys to, build that halftime lead and pull away a bit in the second half?
Just doing what we do best, being tough, starting with defense, and when we get our defense in the game, just get out and run, get our athleticism into the game.
We'll get it over to Justin here in the front row.
Cam, just going off of that, obviously you guys added many offensive pieces this offseason, but why do you guys still sort of embrace this defensive backbone and identity that Coach Jan's created when he came here?
I'm guessing it's just more of, as you guys saw last year where we had lapses on offense, but we were still competitive, hanging our hats on defense. So I guess just keeping that type of mindset, just whenever the offense is clicking, it's just going to make us a more better team.
Go to the players left. We'll go to Tanner, and then we'll go to Paul.
Cam, you specifically opened the second half with a huge alley-oop. Was that kind of a design play, or was that something you came up with in the moment?
I wouldn't say it was design, but I was supposed to cut to the rim. I just didn't know I was going to be that open. So DJ just kind of threw it up, and I just kind of dunked it.
Guy, when you came here, when you signed and Tolu was healthy and Coach Jan said the plan was probably to redshirt you and let you get your feet wet and get comfortable. Obviously, that your role quickly changed and you're having to contribute now. How did your mindset change with that?
Obviously when they told me that, I had to change my mind to help, do whatever I have to do to help the team, which is what I'm doing, whether playing hard or cheering people when I'm on the bench.
And for you, Cam, last year you guys got off to an 11-0 start, but it was kind of, I don't want to say unexpected, but nobody knew what to expect from you guys with a new coach and some new players. But this year it's almost like the quick start was expected. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, just expecting that. Well, not expecting, but having the same quarterback. We're just trying to piggyback up the success we had last year. So I'm guessing that's where that came from.
Guy, how much has it helped you to have guys, like Cam or Tolu, some of the veterans that are around the program to, kind of help you get adjusted and make an impact early in the season?
It has helped me, obviously, a lot from the way I'm playing. And they're always motivating me, always telling me what to do, speak louder, play hard, which is what has made me better.
Go back to the second row.
All right, for either of you guys, day after Thanksgiving, early game, you did not come out sluggish. Kind of talk about being able to come out with the energy and the right kind of mindset.
You got this one?
Yeah, Guy, you can take that one.
We have to obviously lock in from the game, and then after that we celebrate with our family. But that was our mindset, just stay locked in.
Go to the second row, and Danny P. to the players left, and then we'll get it back to the front row and Justin.
And really for both of y'all, but maybe for Cam can speak on this first. It just seemed like, y'all were having a lot of fun out there, several slam dunks today. It just seemed like transition was really, really going good. Did it seem to be as nice and easy as it looked out there?
Yeah, I wouldn't say nice and easy because Nicholls is a good team. It's just getting our athleticism, our size, just getting our defense into the game, and that makes all the highlight plays easy when we're getting fast breaks, getting just running, having fun.
Got time for a couple more for the players. Justin, go ahead.
Cam, just going back to sort of the offensive strides you guys as a team have taken this year, where do you feel like, 6 games in, there's still room to grow on that side of the court for you guys as a team?
Just working on our pace and our sets, just making our offense flow more smoothly. Outside of that, I think we're going to be okay this year.
Go ahead, Steph.
Cam, you guys get Kean back today. I guess just what was it like, hearing the ovation he got, and then, what was it like kind of seeing him get going a bit there in the second half?
I'm really happy for my guy because, he's been through a lot of ups and downs, so it's happy for me. It makes me smile internally, seeing him out there having fun again.
I just want to acknowledge the folks that came and watched us play this afternoon. Odd start time. Obviously, we're trying to piggyback the Egg Bowl, and they showed up. I thought the upper level was unbelievable. I didn't realize it until the second half, but we appreciate those folks coming out and watching us play. It's as big a non-league crowd that I remember since I've been here. I guess it's only been, a year and a handful of games, but it makes a difference. These kids feed off it. And hopefully we've gained some new fans after today. Hopefully some of them left before the last 4 minutes of the game and didn't see the debacle that was the ending of that basketball game. But I really appreciate those folks for showing up and watching these kids play.
We'll start with Paul, front row to coaches left.
Outside of Trey's first game and then Hubbard's game in the tournament where he had 29, you've had pretty balanced scoring this year, and you made mention of that all offseason, how you had more guys that could contribute this year. Is that what you expected coming in and have that balanced group?
Yeah, you never know how it will unfold, but I enjoy having balanced scoring. Certainly we're not trying to hold anyone down, but at the same time, it just makes it so difficult to prepare against from a defensive scouting perspective. And there's multiple guys that, can have big nights. You're not relying on one thing over and over to carry you offensively. And last year we had some of that, with Tolu having to, carry the load on many nights around the basket. And but you're seeing it, now with, like you said, we've had some guys have big games, but they've been different. And I think you'll still see that going forward. So far, so good.
Steph, go ahead.
With Kean coming back today, he kind of got going there a bit, in the second half. I guess just how big is it for him right now to just get in games and kind of get, some conditioning going as he returns?
Yeah, it was a special day for him. He was back much earlier than any of us expected. He was way ahead of schedule with his rehab. He was very diligent. Another shout out to Andrew Kegley and his folks for all the extra time that they spent with him, and obviously Tolu as he still goes through the process. But, that was about the number of minutes in my head. He didn't have a restriction or anything like that, but that was kind of what we were hoping for, to kind of, get his feet wet. And certainly had some good, some bad, like most of our guys do when they get in the game. But hopefully that'll give him some confidence, with the injury of playing in a game, and he can be better going forward.
You talked about, the crowd as well. It seems like they got loud. They understood, the magnitude of him coming in there. I guess just, what do you think it meant to him, and what did it mean to y'all to kind of see the crowd recognize, what he's been through the past few months?
Well, we got a good fan base, and they get it. Didn't really think about it until I subbed them in that, they would react like that, but it was certainly awesome to see. And I just thought they knew it was his birthday. It's his birthday today. So I thought maybe there was something on the board that they knew it was his birthday, and they were serenading him out here before I came in here. But he's such a nice kid. He's such a fun-loving kid. He's fun to be around. He's well-liked, got to be as well-liked as anybody on our team. Not that we're comparing, but he just gets along with everybody, and he's a heck of a basketball player.
Coach, you guys opened the second half, big statement with the alley-oop to Mook. Was that kind of a design play, or was that just something that they came up with on the fly?
It was a design play. The lob dunk part of it, they did on their own. It was a design play to get the positions where we were at on the court, and then the cut and the slide on the right side. But the lob opened up, and they took advantage of it, and it was a great way to start the second half.
Y'all hauled in 19 offensive rebounds today. I think Jimmy had another double-double. I guess how much are you able to just kind of lean on that rebounding when you go through some cold stretches on offense like you had in the first half today?
Yeah, you'd like to have that, as a strength of yours. I've had some really good offensive rebounding teams. We'll see if this one develops into that. But like you said, when you're not making shots either from the field, from the three, even from the free throw line like we were in the first half, we got, I think at least one of those back. And we thought going into the game that, just look at the size difference. It had to be an advantage for us. We were preaching it for 2 days, and we started off great. I think we had 5 or 6 offensive rebounds before the first media, and then the second media we didn't have any, and so we kept discussing it. And we ended up having, 47% offensive rebounding, which is a huge number. You're almost getting half your misses back, and it's hard to defend against because it's so deflating.
We'll stay front row and go to Justin to coach's right.
Going back to the Kean Murphy stuff, just the fact that Jimmy and Guy have been as productive as they have through these first 6 games, how much does that sort of help maybe ease him in back to his whatever role you're looking for him when he's 100%?
Yeah, we may end up having, some minute issues. And again, I've always said this, it's a good problem to have. I'd rather have that than the other issue. I like a longer bench than a short one, but, we'll deal with it. And, that's the whole deal of having depth is, you got to be ready to go every day. You got to be on it. You got to have your mind right. You got to practice well. You got to be productive. And then when you get your shots in the game, your motor's got to be revved. I talk about it all the time. Your mindset and your motor's got to be going. Only 5 guys start the game. The rest of the game, everybody comes off the bench. And that's a theme for us. The rest of the game, the 5 guys that start, that's it. Everybody else is coming off the bench, including them, right? So that's so overrated, in my opinion. You have to be able to get your mind and your motor ready to go when your number's called, regardless of when it is. And we don't play the, hey, Coach, I sat there for 10 minutes and before I play. That's the way it is. So you're going to have to figure it out, or, we'll pick someone else next time. So we'll see how it unfolds. But, obviously we're getting more and more guys healthy and available on game nights.
And then I asked Cam before you came in just about the fact that you guys, even though you added a lot of offensive pieces this offseason, you guys still sort of embrace this defensive identity that you've created here. How important is that to have that to fall back on when shots aren't falling at a consistent rate and be able to go back to those defensive roots in a game?
I mean, that's what our non-negotiables are. That's just what we believe in. Certainly we're trying to be better offensively, and people that have watched us both years, we definitely have a different style to us this year than the past, but it's still a work in progress. But at the end of the day, 5 for 23, from the 3, and you still were able to win, pretty easily at home. So we're going to have nights where, we struggle from the 3, and we want to rely on that. We want to have that in our back pocket. It's something we rally around every single day, and they all know that. They get it. They know how important it is, and the quicker they buy into it, the better off they are individually.
Well, state of coach is right. And David?
Going back to the offensive rebound, I think at one point in the second half, all your margin was basically second chance points. What does it mean when you have guys not just looking to get that offensive rebound, but do something with it?
Yeah, I thought we struggled finishing early in the game. We were getting the offensive rebounds, but for whatever reason, we couldn't stick it back in the goal, and we could have had a bigger lead early, I thought, but that wasn't the case. Credit to Nicholls for scrapping and competing around the rim, even they were a little undersized that way. But it's just a luxury to have a team that has a bunch of guys that understand the importance of offensive rebounding. It just is. When you're going to get second and third opportunities, it's just hard to play against. When we play teams that are aggressive on the glass, which a lot of the teams in this league are, we spend a lot of time, talking about it, showing them, working on it. It's something we emphasize every single day. There's 4 or 5 core things that we emphasize every day in every practice, and both sides of the ball, rebounding is one of them.
Second row, black hat, middle.
All right, Coach, you talked a little bit about the fans and them showing up today after the Egg Bowl, but the players, Thanksgiving yesterday, early game, Egg Bowl, kind of talk about how you got those guys ready and the way they responded coming out today.
Yeah, we, piggybacked it, like I said. We actually tried to get an opponent on Wednesday night before the Egg Bowl, just knowing we'd have a bunch more people in town than normal, but it didn't come into fruition. But, yesterday was a long day, for all of us. We had early morning practice, had to get all that in, and then, we had most of the guys and the coaches over to our house, and we celebrated Thanksgiving, which was great. And then we had some other responsibilities that we had to take care of, and then, certainly the game, and then we brought them back at night about 8:30 to make sure we were locked and loaded, and they understood it was an early morning game, and we got to get to bed, and then 8 a.m. shoot-around comes fast, but we've had a bunch of early games already. We're getting used to it. They've responded pretty well. Our shoot-arounds surprisingly have been pretty good for 8 a.m., which, I didn't expect, but that's a good sign going forward.
Go ahead, Danny P.
Tanner asked about the alley-oop slam for Cam, but it was a lot of action around the basket in that way with the slam dunks and things. Just you mentioned about the energy. Just talk about the energy they did bring in this game.
Yeah, obviously, you can go back for decades and decades. Fans get excited when they make those kind of athletic plays, and so do their teammates. They're rhythm changers. They're momentum changers. You can say, oh, just take the 2. No, tear it down. Right? Let's change the tenor of the game, and let's be aggressive, because the other, I don't like it when they dunk it in my goal. Right? I don't necessarily love that feeling. So, we preach, get after it. Let's turn the game. Let's get the crowd into it, or take the crowd away if we're on the road. So, they like doing it. It's fun, and there's some importance to it.
Guy was talking earlier about how much he's been able to learn from guys like Cam and Tolu. What have you thought of the way guys kind of embraced the ability to learn from those guys and grow under their mentorship?
One day he's going to write a book, man, and he's going to remember the lessons that he's being taught every day, because he's going against some veterans, Tolu Smith and Jimmy Bell and Cam Matthews, even as we play small ball, and he's had some rough days. He's had his nose broke. He's got hit, a few times inadvertently, but he's been roughed up a little bit. And I always tell him, this is all part of the deal, man. Just stick with it. Okay, you're going to grow from these scars, and you're going to look back someday and be the player that you are, because he's going to be a really good player. He's a good player right now, but I think he's got a chance to be really, really good, because you've seen a little bit of it, but he's got a skill set. Okay, he knocks down free throws. He's got beautiful touch. He can score it, shoot it out to the mid-range. I think eventually he'll be confident enough to shoot the three. And with a guy that big and spacing the floor, and like I've always said about him, he doesn't fear anything. He doesn't fear anybody. He doesn't fear anything, and that's why he's out there in the mix.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go to Paul and then to Benjamin to wrap it up.
Noticed Andrew didn't get in the game today. Was that more of a coach's decision, or is he healthy? Or
Yeah, it was kind of a mutual decision. We're still getting him back in the swing of things, and he's definitely going to, be part of our program. And we actually asked him, at the end. I tend to do that, especially with the older guys. When it gets down to their guys that have been around, hey, do you want to play or not? And so we did that. And but yeah, he's going to have to, like all of us, work and grind and try to get some minutes.
And you mentioned in the off season that you guys are kind of going from the 100 to the 100, and you wanted to see how your guys handle those expectations. You rather have the higher expectations than the other way. I know this wasn't a key win today, but you guys are ranked 25th, back in the polls again. How do you see last year's experience of getting in the rankings compared to this year, as far as the guys being able to handle it? And because I asked Cam about this. Like, last year's start was kind of unexpected. They didn't know what to expect, but this year they have an air about them, like this is what they expect to do.
Well, a lot of the talk came before the injuries. There was a lot of talk and all the too early polls and this and that and the other, and we had more people coming through the gym evaluating our team than we'd had the year before, from different analysts from different networks and things that they do their homework on. And then it kind of went away for a while, and we try to use that to our advantage. And we knew going to this game, we had a lot of, ammunition, if you will, with last year's scare, right? And then they beat LSU, and, so we had plenty to talk about to get our guys ready to go. But in terms of, the rankings and all that stuff, we haven't talked about it one time. At least I haven't talked about it with anyone in our team or even our coaching staff. Since that came out. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad that we're being acknowledged, and it's great for the program in a lot of different areas. But at the end of the day, we got a lot of basketball yet to be played.
You already talked some about the energy that a play like a slam dunk can bring to the team and the crowd, but we saw 4 of those from Cam Matthews. He was a perfect 6 for 6 from the field, very efficient night. What did you see from his game today?
I mean, he had a couple turnovers that, we didn't like. He's such a good passer, and he's got a great feel for the game. He's got a high basketball IQ. He's locked into scouting reports. He sometimes questions how we're guarding something, and I love it. I love it. That tells me, he's in, right? When those kids start asking me questions, what about this? And we encourage that, and he's probably leading the pack when it comes to that. But he just, sometimes he wants to thread that needle and make the highlight pass instead of just the simple play, and he gets us in trouble sometimes with his careless turnovers, but it's never a lack of effort or energy with him. He's definitely, a big part of what's going on right now.